first warning. Troubled times are ahead. You know that. I know that. Good. Let's get it out on the table and move on from it. But as troubled times come, there will be other shoes to drop. You are going to have to understand that you don't waste a good emergency. You don't waste a good scandal. Look at the other hand. So while all the press is telling us stuff that you already know, you knew the president knew that wasn't possible. You knew. Now the press is jumping on it. Good. What is the other hand doing right now? What are they doing? What are they covering? What else is happening? Is it Syria? Is it war? Is it the Fed? What is it? What is it that they're working on right now? Is it possibly immigration reform? Yep. That's what will probably be next, and it will be so massive and so breathtaking that you won't know what to do, because that's the last thing. You want to fundamentally transform it forever. You've already gutted now by having a third of our economy. You've gutted our country, our engine, by giving all of the power to giant corporations, knowing full well that 75 to 80% of all jobs in a recession are created by the small businessman. And by cutting off and choking the small businessman, you've cut off the engine. Then, by the one thing that we were really good at, we're good at tech and medical, you've just choked 1/3 of our superpower stardom to death. There's no turning that around. Next thing you have to do, change the population. Open the gates. That's the last thing that happened before Rome. Open the gates. And that's what they're doing now. So how can I be positive? Well, let me get through the list here of what's about to collapse. The Second Amendment through Fast and Furious. The president knew about Fast and Furious. He knew all about it. He knew everything that he was selling you was a lie. Everything. What did the president know, and when did he know it? He knew about Fast and Furious. The Second Amendment, they are now breaking down doors. Nobody's paying attention to this. You need to. They are breaking down doors. In Washington, D.C., we told you the story about the guy who had a box of old antique shells. If you have an old Winchester, you can't just put the new grain into that antique Winchester because it will blow up in your face. You need to soften the shell. And so he bought a shell of antique or specially made bullets for his antique gun. He had them in his house. They broke his door down. He's been arrested. He faces 2 years in prison for that because they were unregistered. What? There were 4 murders the night you were breaking down with 30 agents. There were 4 murders in Washington, D.C. Have you guys solved that one? Or are you just going after the guy with a box of antique shells? That's about to come undone. Benghazi, CBS News, 60 Minutes is now coming out and saying Benghazi. But there's more to Benghazi. What was Benghazi about? Benghazi was about changing the way our military even works. We leave people behind. We now know, on 60 Minutes has now proven something we told you 2 days in. We had the resources. This is about gun running. They could have saved him. The president didn't. The president, it is now known, read the front page of the Blaze, it is now known that the president would not issue an order to go save. We had people on a tarmac an hour away. We would not do it because the president wouldn't issue that order. That's about to come undone. Common Core, people are standing up. Look at that. They're shutting down all of the meetings so you can't voice your opinion. Common Core is about to come undone. What's that one all about? Healthcare. You're about to get a present from your healthcare provider, but don't worry, the government will be there to scoop you up into an exchange, exactly the way we told you. Syria and Egypt. They're now saying that Egypt's really going to explode because it's really become unstable because we have now stopped funding their military. When the Muslim Brotherhood were in, we were fine. But now the Muslim Brotherhood's out, we are not funding them anymore. So what are they going to do? They're going to fall into the sea. Syria is giving us pressure now. The president is going to act on Syria. That's in the cards, gang. It's coming. Iran, they now say, I believe the United Nations says they are 30 days away from having nuclear material enough for a bomb. Now that's the UN. They've never said that. I think they've had that stuff for a long time. The